Generally, performing electrical work without a valid license in the specific county is unlawful and can lead to fines or other penalties. However, it's crucial to understand that some counties might have unique rules or exceptions for particular types of electrical jobs. In Florida, the Electrical Contractors Licensing Board oversees electrical work. Their website states that electrical contractors need to get a license from the county where they'll be working, but there might be some exceptions for certain kinds of work. For instance, a homeowner can do electrical work on their own home without a license. This exception only applies to homeowners working on their own homes. To be absolutely certain about the rules, it's recommended to contact the Electrical Contractors Licensing Board directly. Consulting with a licensed electrician in the county where you plan to work is also a good idea. They can provide specific information on the requirements and exemptions applicable to your situation. Here's a more in-depth look at what to consider. Firstly, always check local regulations. The electrical regulations can vary significantly from one county to another. Contacting the Electrical Contractors Licensing Board or a local building department is a necessary step to get accurate and up-to-date information. Secondly, consider the scope of the work. The type of electrical work can influence whether a license is required. Minor repairs might fall under exceptions, while major installations typically require a licensed contractor. Thirdly, explore reciprocity agreements. Florida has reciprocity agreements between some counties, allowing a licensed electrician in one county to work in another without getting a separate license. Check if such an agreement exists between the counties you're interested in. Fourthly, understand homeowner exemptions. The homeowner exemption typically allows homeowners to perform electrical work on their primary residence, but this exemption usually comes with restrictions. The work must be for their own use and not for resale or rental properties. Additionally, the homeowner might need to obtain permits and inspections to ensure the work meets safety standards. Fifthly, insurance is essential. Even if a license isn't required, having adequate insurance is crucial. Accidents can happen, and insurance can protect you from liability in case of property damage or personal injury. Sixthly, document everything. Keep a record of all work performed, materials used, and inspections passed. Documentation can be helpful in case of disputes or questions about the quality or safety of the work. Seventhly, prioritize safety. Electrical work can be dangerous, so always prioritize safety. If you're not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to hire a licensed electrician. Following safety precautions like turning off the power and using appropriate safety gear can minimize the risk of accidents. Eighthly, continuing education is important. The electrical industry is constantly evolving, with new technologies and regulations emerging. Staying up to date on the latest developments through continuing education courses can help you perform work safely and effectively. Ninthly, professional associations can be beneficial. Joining a professional association like the Independent Electrical Contractors or the National Electrical Contractors Association can provide access to resources, training, and networking opportunities. Tenthly, legal advice can be helpful. If you have any doubts or concerns about the legality of performing electrical work in a particular county, seeking legal advice is always a good idea. An attorney specializing in construction law can provide guidance on your rights and obligations. Let's delve into the specific aspects of the Electrical Contractors Licensing Board. The Electrical Contractors Licensing Board in Florida is responsible for regulating the electrical contracting industry. They issue licenses to qualified individuals and businesses, ensuring they meet the required education, experience, and testing standards. The board also investigates complaints against licensed contractors and takes disciplinary action when necessary. When contacting the Electrical Contractors Licensing Board, be prepared to provide detailed information about the work you intend to perform. They can clarify whether a license is required, explain any applicable exemptions, and provide guidance on obtaining permits and inspections. Keep in mind that the information provided by the Electrical Contractors Licensing Board is advisory and should not be considered legal advice. If you have specific legal questions, it's always best to consult with an attorney. Regarding homeowner exemptions, it's crucial to understand the limitations. The homeowner exemption typically applies only to electrical work performed on the homeowner's primary residence. It does not extend to rental properties, commercial buildings, or other types of properties. Furthermore, the homeowner exemption may not apply if the homeowner hires someone else to perform the work, even if that person is not a licensed electrician. The homeowner exemption is intended to allow homeowners to perform minor electrical repairs and upgrades on their own homes without having to hire a licensed contractor. However, it's important to note that the homeowner is still responsible for ensuring that the work is performed safely and in accordance with applicable codes and regulations. When performing electrical work under the homeowner exemption, it's essential to obtain the necessary permits and inspections. Permits ensure that the work is reviewed by a qualified inspector who can identify any potential safety hazards. Inspections verify that the work meets the requirements of the National Electrical Code and other applicable standards. Obtaining permits and inspections is not only a legal requirement, but also a way to protect yourself and your property. Unpermitted and uninspected electrical work can create fire hazards, increase the risk of electrical shock, and void your homeowner's insurance policy. When it comes to insurance, it's important to have adequate coverage. General liability insurance can protect you from financial losses if someone is injured or their property is damaged as a result of your electrical work. Workers' compensation insurance may be required if you hire employees to help with the work. It's also a good idea to have professional liability insurance, which can protect you from claims of negligence or errors in your work. Even if you're not required to have insurance by law, having adequate coverage can provide peace of mind and protect you from potential financial ruin. Regarding documentation, it's always best to keep a record of all work performed. This includes the date of the work, the scope of the work, the materials used, and any inspections passed. Documentation can be helpful in case of disputes or questions about the quality or safety of the work. It can also be useful if you ever decide to sell your home, as it can provide potential buyers with assurance that the electrical work was performed properly. In addition to documenting the work itself, it's also important to keep records of any permits obtained and inspections passed. These documents can serve as proof that the work was performed in accordance with applicable codes and regulations. When performing electrical work, safety should always be your top priority. Electrical work can be dangerous, and even a small mistake can have serious consequences. Before starting any electrical work, always turn off the power to the circuit you'll be working on. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off before touching any wires. Wear appropriate safety gear such as safety glasses, gloves, and insulated shoes. If you're not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to hire a licensed electrician. Continuing education is essential for staying up to date on the latest developments in the electrical industry. The National Electrical Code is updated every 3 years, and there are always new technologies and techniques emerging. Taking continuing education courses can help you stay informed about these changes and ensure that you're performing work safely and effectively. Continuing education courses are available from a variety of sources, including trade schools, community colleges, and professional associations. Many online courses are also available, making it easy to learn at your own pace and on your own schedule. Joining a professional association can provide access to resources, training, and networking opportunities. Professional associations like the Independent Electrical Contractors and the National Electrical Contractors Association offer a variety of benefits to their members, including access to continuing education courses, industry publications, and networking events. Professional associations can also provide a voice for the electrical contracting industry, advocating for policies that promote safety and professionalism. Finally, if you have any doubts or concerns about the legality of performing electrical work in a particular county, seeking legal advice is always a good idea. An attorney specializing in construction law can provide guidance on your rights and obligations. An attorney can also help you understand the specific regulations that apply to your situation and can represent you in case of disputes or legal proceedings. The cost of hiring an attorney can vary depending on the complexity of the case and the attorney's experience. However, the cost of legal advice is often outweighed by the benefits of avoiding potential legal problems. Let's consider some specific scenarios to illustrate the importance of understanding electrical regulations. Scenario 1: a homeowner in County hires an unlicensed contractor to install a new electrical panel in their home. The contractor does not obtain the necessary permits or inspections. A few months later, the electrical panel malfunctions and causes a fire, resulting in significant damage to the home. The homeowner's insurance company denies the claim because the electrical work was performed without permits and inspections. The homeowner is left with the financial burden of repairing the damage and replacing the electrical panel. Scenario 2: a licensed electrician in County B performs electrical work in County C without obtaining a license in County C. The electrician is caught by the local authorities and is fined for violating the licensing regulations. The electrician is also required to obtain a license in County C before they can continue performing electrical work in that county. Scenario 3: a business owner in County D hires an unlicensed contractor to perform electrical work in their commercial building. The contractor does not have workers' compensation insurance. One of the contractor's employees is injured while performing the electrical work. The business owner is held liable for the employee's injuries because the contractor did not have workers' compensation insurance. These scenarios highlight the importance of understanding and complying with electrical regulations. Failure to do so can result in financial losses, legal penalties, and personal injury. Here are some additional resources that can help you learn more about electrical regulations in Florida. Firstly, the Electrical Contractors Licensing Board website provides information on licensing requirements, exemptions, and regulations. Secondly, the Florida Building Code is a comprehensive set of regulations governing the construction and maintenance of buildings in Florida. Thirdly, the National Electrical Code is a widely adopted standard for safe electrical installations. Fourthly, the Independent Electrical Contractors and the National Electrical Contractors Association offer resources, training, and networking opportunities for electrical contractors. Fifthly, local building departments can provide information on permits, inspections, and local electrical regulations. By taking the time to understand electrical regulations, you can protect yourself, your property, and others from the dangers of unsafe electrical work.